Welcome, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Think that quarter in your pocket is just 25 cents? Think again. Some rare Washington quarters are worth thousands, and you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. In this video, we're revealing the top 3 rarest US Washington quarter dollar coins that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Don't miss these hidden gems. Let's dive in. Number 1. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if that old quarter might actually be worth more than 25 cents? Well, if you're holding on to a 1971 Washington quarter, you just might be in luck. At first glance, the 1971 quarter doesn't look like anything special. Minted in Denver, it was produced by the millions and circulated widely across the country. But here's the twist: not all of these coins were created equal. And a few of them are now considered hidden treasures in the world of coin collecting. What makes some of these quarters incredibly valuable is a combination of rare mint errors, metallic composition, and condition. One of the most sought-after versions of the 1971 is the quarter that was mistakenly struck on a leftover silver planchet. Even though the US officially ended silver quarters in 1964, some silver blanks remained in the minting system. When one of these accidentally got used in 1971, it created a coin that shouldn't even exist. Collectors can spot this version by checking the coin's weight. Silver quarters weigh a bit more than their copper-nickel counterparts, and they produce a distinct ringing sound when dropped. If you think you've found one, it's worth a closer inspection, because this mistake can turn your pocket change into a serious payday. But that's not the only error to look out for. Some 1971 quarters feature what's called a double die obverse, where the details on the front of the coin, like the date or the word Liberty, appears slightly doubled under magnification. These doubling errors are highly collectible and often missed by casual eyes. Other coins show off center strikes, where the image is visibly shifted from the center of the coin. These are also rare and can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the degree of the misalignment and the overall condition. And then there are filled mint marks, caused by debris clogging the die, making the D look faint or completely missing. While not as valuable alone, when combined with other striking errors, the value can multiply significantly. If all of that sounds like a collector's dream, it is, in fact, one of the rarest 1971 Washington quarters, featuring a known mint error and in pristine condition, sold at auction for a staggering $68,000. Yes, $68,000 for a single quarter. Proof that even modern coins can carry incredible value when the right conditions come together. But that's not the only treasure hiding in US coin history. Let's talk about the 1870 Carson City $20 double eagle gold coin. Struck in the rugged days of the Wild West at the Carson City Mint in Nevada, this gold coin is a true rarity. Only a small number were ever made, and even fewer have survived. Most people have never even seen one. One of these rare 1870cc double eagles recently went under the hammer at auction and shocked collectors by selling for over $1,400,000. That's $1.4 million for a coin that once symbolized frontier wealth and westward expansion, a true hidden gem in US coinage. So, the next time you're flipping through your loose change or sorting through an old coin jar, keep your eyes open. Because what might look like an ordinary quarter could turn out to be worth $68,000. Number 2. You've probably seen it. A quarter with the unusual dual date, 1776 to 1976. It's everywhere. Or at least it used to be. But what if I told you that one of these coins, this very bicentennial Washington quarter, became one of the most talked about modern coins in US history, not just because of its design, but because of how rare and valuable a few of them have become? Let's get into it. The 1776 to 1976 quarter was created to commemorate 200 years of American independence. It replaced the usual eagle on the back with something more historic, a colonial drummer boy, marching with pride, and a torch lit with 13 stars. It was the first time the US Mint changed the quarter's design in decades. And people loved it. But here's the twist. While hundreds of millions of these quarters were made for circulation, there were a few special strikes that never made it to the average person's pocket. And some of those ended up becoming incredibly valuable collector's items. Let's break down what to look for. First, silver content. Most bicentennial quarters are clad in copper-nickel. But a small number were minted in 40% silver, only available in special collector sets. Over time, some made their way out into circulation. If your 1976 quarter has a different ring when tapped, or weighs slightly more, get it tested. It could be silver. Next, error coins. And this is where the serious value comes in. A few of these quarters were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchets, blanks meant for other coins, like dimes or even foreign coinage. That results in coins that are the wrong size, or missing part of the design. These are called planchet errors, and they're rare. There are also double die errors, where the lettering appears slightly shadowed or doubled, especially on the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," or even the date. Some of these go completely unnoticed for years, until someone looks closely. Then there's the condition. Coins with strong strikes and clean surfaces, no wear, no scratches, get the highest grades. And when you combine a rare error with a high grade, that's when the big money starts rolling in. A few lucky collectors have discovered what they thought was just another old quarter, only to realize it had a minting flaw, a silver core, or a special proof finish. And now the big question: just how valuable can one of these coins be? One extremely rare bicentennial quarter, struck on a silver planchet, with a major mint error, and preserved in near-perfect condition, went to auction and shocked collectors everywhere. The final sale price? $120,000, that's right. $120,000 for a single quarter. So next time you see one of these in your change jar or an old drawer, don't ignore it. Because what looks like a regular coin could be one of the rarest treasures still floating through circulation. Keep your eyes open. You never know what piece of history you might be holding. Number 3. It's easy to overlook it. Just another Washington quarter, minted in 1990 with a small P for Philadelphia on the front. You've probably seen hundreds. Maybe you've spent one without thinking twice. But some of these ordinary-looking coins are anything but common. In fact, there's a version of the 1990 P Washington quarter that's considered one of the most intriguing modern rarities in U.S. coin history. And if you know what to look for, it could turn a single quarter into a serious payday. Let's get into what makes this coin so special. First off, the 1990 P quarter was part of a massive mintage, over 900 million coins. So how could something so common become so valuable? Well, the answer lies in one word: errors. But not just any error. The most famous and valuable examples of the 1990 P Washington quarter feature a missing mint mark. Yes, even though the coin is supposed to have a P stamped just below Washington's portrait, some rare quarters left the mint with that mark completely absent. This happened because of a worn die, a tool used to strike the coin, that either became clogged or was replaced improperly, failing to include the mint mark on certain strikes. These no mint mark quarters are especially intriguing because, in 1990, all Philadelphia quarters were supposed to include it. So when it's missing, collectors take notice. But the story doesn't stop there. There are other error types to look out for too. Double die errors, while rare on this particular year, have been reported. You'd notice slight shadowing or doubling around the word "Liberty," the motto, "In God we trust," or the year 1990. These small imperfections, often invisible to the naked eye, can skyrocket a coin's value under magnification. Also, keep an eye out for off-center strikes. These are quarters that weren't perfectly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be shifted or even missing entirely. The more dramatic the shift, especially if all the lettering is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. And then there's condition. If your 1990 P quarter has full details, a sharp strike, and absolutely no signs of circulation, you could be looking at a top-graded piece. Coins graded MS67 or higher are especially desirable in the collector market. Now, if you're lucky enough to find a 1990 P Washington quarter with a missing mint mark or a significant strike error, and it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding something rare. So what's the payoff? One such quarter, missing the mint mark and graded in exceptionally high condition, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $37,000. Yes, you heard that right, $37,000 for a single quarter. It's proof that even a coin from the 1990s, something that might still be sitting in your spare change or hidden in a coin jar, can be a hidden gem. So don't underestimate the coins in your pocket. Take a closer look at those 1990 P quarters, because one of them just might be worth thousands.